You do not make bad choices because you are careless. You make them because your brain is paying an invisible tax every time you decide. By the afternoon, that tax compounds until the easy option wins, even when it is the wrong one. Here is the frame that will let you take control again. Time is your inventory, a shelf with a fixed number of slots. Energy is your electricity, the current that lets you move items on and off those shelves. Most people try to juggle the shelf and ignore the power bill. You will do the opposite. You will treat decisions as electrical loads and design your day so that the high-draw choices plug in when the grid is strongest, while low-draw defaults carry the rest automatically. Under the hood, the logic is simple. Dopamine is your initiation signal. It raises the expectation that an action will pay off and gets you to start. Noradrenaline is your alerting system. Too little and you drift, too much and you jitter, and in the middle you feel crisply engaged. Acetylcholine tightens the focus aperture so you can hold a single target without sliding. Decision fatigue shows up when these systems are pushed the wrong way by three forces. Constant context switching makes noradrenaline oscillate, which feels like being busy without traction. Unresolved ambiguity leaves acetylcholine with nothing precise to lock onto, so attention slips. Delayed and uncertain rewards flatten dopamine's prediction signal, so the next start looks unprofitable. None of that is laziness. It is a chemistry mismatch that makes shortcuts feel like relief. A few familiar stories make this worse and need a clean reframe. The story that successful people have more willpower ignores design. What they mostly have is fewer discretionary decisions at the point of action because they pre-decide the environment and pre-stage the first move. The story that more choice equals more freedom ignores friction. More choice during execution creates drag, while abundant choice during design creates real freedom later because you pick the rule once and let a default carry you. The story that deciding late keeps options open ignores cost. Late decisions are the most expensive because your system is already depleted and will pay for speed over quality. The story that mental toughness fixes everything confuses backup with plan. Toughness is a generator for rare spikes, not the power grid for your workday. If you want evidence rather than slogans, look at what happens when decision load changes in the wild and in the lab. In a large natural experiment that tracked thousands of judicial decisions across full workdays, favorable rulings steadily declined between breaks and then reset after a short pause with a snack. When energy and attention were restored, the probability of a positive decision rebounded, which is consistent with choice quality drifting with cumulative decision load rather than with case severity alone. In controlled settings, tasks that reduce ambiguity and bring rewards closer to the action produce higher initiation rates and steadier attention than equally hard tasks with vague goals, late feedback, and frequent context shifts. The pattern repeats across domains. Decrease switching, specify the next observable action, and close the reward loop sooner, and performance stabilizes without appealing to mythical reservoirs of grit. Two practical levers handle most of this without theatrics. The first lever is to lower start friction exactly where a task begins. Friction hides in vague verbs, missing materials, and open loops. Replace work on slides with open the deck and draft 3 headlines for slides 2 to 4. That small rewrite changes the chemical economy. You raise dopamine's estimate that a small, clear action will pay off, and you give acetylcholine a crisp anchor. If the file is already open, the template is visible, and your cursor is sitting in the right text box, initiation stops feeling like a cliff and starts feeling like a step. The second lever is context bundling. Instead of sprinkling micro decisions through the day, you batch like with like, so you reuse the attentional set you already paid for. Approve expenses in one window, answer scheduling messages in one window, triage comments in one window. The brain prefers state stability. Every re-entry into the same context is cheaper than a fresh spin-up. Putting both levers into daily life starts with designing choices when you are fresh and protecting execution when you are not. Decide the next day's 3 meaningful starts the evening before, when emotion is cooler and stakes feel lower. Reduce each to the smallest observable action that actually moves the needle. Then stage the materials so the first move is physical and obvious. Put the file where one click opens it, set the tool to the right mode, place the reference on screen. Fence off a single, short, high-quality focus block early in the day for the heaviest lift. Do not ask yourself in the morning what to do. Follow the design you made when your electricity was cheap. Later, when your energy dips, run your bundles, approvals, replies, calendar edits, quick reviews. Big choices get a scheduled slot, rather than ambushing you in a hallway or an inbox. Here is a simple 20-minute sequence you can run today. Set a timer for 20 minutes and put a visible token next to your keyboard, a sticky note or a coin that will become your completion marker. Open the exact file or tool for one meaningful task and write a single concrete finish line at the top, such as draft the first paragraph of the summary section, or select and rename the 3 footage clips for the intro. Start the timer and work only on that line. If another thought appears, capture a 2-word reminder on a side sheet and return without switching windows. At minute 15, write one sentence that begins with "so far I have" to stabilize the frame. When the timer ends, make the finish visible. Tick a box on your tracker, move the coin to a small dish, or type the word "done" under the line you wrote. Then close the loop with a small, repeatable reward, such as standing to drink water by the window or listening to half a song. The treat is not the point. The point is teaching your brain that starting and finishing a focused slice predicts a near-term positive sensation, so the next start is easier. For the next 7 days, run a compact experiment to lock this in. Each morning, set exactly one 20-minute focus window for your heaviest mental task, and one 15-minute bundle window for administrative yes-no decisions. At the top of each window, write the single finish line for that window. Log 2 numbers each day. Whether you crossed the explicit finish line in the focus window, and how many stray decisions you deferred into the bundle window instead of handling on the fly. At the end of day 7, review the log and keep whichever window produced the largest visible gain with the least friction, then keep that placement as a standing default for the next week. Run the 20-minute sequence today and make the finish visible somewhere you will see it tonight. If it helps, set one more window for tomorrow by writing a single next action sentence before you leave your desk. If this approach proves useful this week, keep it handy and pass it to someone who keeps getting ambushed by their afternoons.